The college basketball landscape, and more importantly, the Bluegrass State, has been waiting on pins and needles for the epic conclusion to the Tyran Stokes lottery. Who would win the #1 prize in the 2026 college basketball recruiting class? Well, the weekend came and went without nary a single development. Did Mark Pope whiff? More importantly, could another suitor be arising from the depths? What's cooking? Welcome back into another edition of Now We Can Talk Like Fans on ESPN Louisville Plus. My name is Justin Soforo, and just without any further ado, let's just kind of get into it. This has been a news cycle this weekend that has been, I guess, on the college football side, very exciting. Lots of movement happening. Penn State kicking James Franklin out of here and maybe giving BB and faithful Kentucky a little bit of hope, given how much money that they spent, the $50 million that they're paying to get rid of James Franklin early. Maybe, just maybe, we'll have some hope when it comes to one Mark Pope and getting rid of him at the end of the season, or maybe sometime during this season. I don't think it's going to happen, even though, yes, that number is smaller. Maybe we're looking more closer to 37 mil to 40 mil for Mark Stoops to be hitting the road. Let's not kid ourselves when it comes to this the station of the two college football programs and which one maybe has a little bit of higher expectations down the line. That's not what this video is about, though. This video is about the rumors, the talk, the scuttlebutt, if you will, about one Tyran Stokes and his commitment. That was supposed to happen. We were told that he would be committing this last weekend. That's what the news reports are, that where there was a little bit of a rumor around the landscape. One Joe Tipton had put out there, and he's had pretty good information, or at least has given out the perception that he's got great information when it comes to Tyran Stokes, where he may land and what his future looks like. They talked about this weekend being maybe one of those epic crescendos for the recruiting cycle to end. Unfortunately, the weekend came and went when nothing happened. Latest that we've heard about with the situation with Tyran Stokes is that he has a 75% lean or chance to go to the Kentucky Wildcats. The expectation is that he loves the Bluegrass State. He is from Louisville. Let's talk about the Louisville side of it real quick. Is Louisville a big player in this? Is Adidas ready to drop a bag? Well, it appears that Adidas might be the ones interested in dropping a bag, but are they there for Louisville? Well, there were some interesting comments made by one Pat Kelsey talking about some of the recruits out there, talking about will they fit systems? Will their personalities fit? If you listen over to the Sunday Morning Hangover with Phil Baker and Nick Curran every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on ESPN 680, 105.7, and the ESPN Louisville app, he had a little bit of information there from the comments made by one Pat Kelsey.
A lot of people are taking this as a shot, not necessarily at Tyran Stokes, but big time recruits that don't fit the culture. This is something that they're going to be monitoring, watching for. But this is what that sounded like.
The recruiting, the selection, the evaluation process to see what guys are about, what makes them tick. We always say the leopard doesn't change its spots. It's hard to bring a selfish guy in and think you're going to change him from being selfish. I feel very, very strongly about the group of guys and their commitment to winning and understanding that it's going to be this guy's night this night. It's going to be that guy's that night, and that's the makeup of this team.
I struggle with that commentary because it's hard to not draw that correlation between what Pat Kelsey is talking about, the rumors, that the hype, the guys that we've talked about that were supposed locks to go to the University of Louisville. We talk about Tay Kenny, who just ended up going to Kansas and committing to Bill Self, and now we've got Tyran Stokes, a guy who grew up for a portion of time. Family was from Louisville, lived in Louisville, has some connection there. He went on KSR. And talked about his love for the city of Louisville. Well, it appears though that Louisville. I don't know the nicest way to say this, and I would love to be eating a massive crow in another video down the line. I just don't see it happening. It seems to be apparently all done. Louisville, quote unquote, didn't want to pay the bag. They didn't want to drop the bag for Tyran Stokes. So supposedly, the way my perception is, the number one player in the class, the best looking prospect out there. And not just that, but like to me, if you're a Louisville and you're able to put yourself on that kind of stage, you talk about very few opportunities that this has ever happened. We're talking about when Louisville got Sebastian Telfair, and he was supposed to be the number 2 player in that class, or maybe he was a top player. I can't, because it was LeBron James that year, and LeBron James wasn't going to college. So it was Sebastian Telfair, and that flopped, and that failed, and that was a miserable failure for Louisville. And of course, the last time you think about a player recruited that highly, you think about Samardo Samuels, and you see what he did. But anyway, at this point, Louisville doesn't feel like dropping the bag, at least in Pat Kelsey's words. And yes, he didn't say Tyran Stokes, but let's not kid ourselves. That's the vibe I got from it. It was all about Tyran Stokes. That personality wouldn't fit. I don't know. That's my personal feeling whenever I hear a personality won't fit. I don't love it. I don't like it. It doesn't make me excited as a Louisville fan. Now let's switch over to more importantly while you're here, probably, if you clicked on the video, because it's probably more about Kentucky fans, because they have a better feeling, a better opportunity to land Tyran Stokes at this point. Louisville will not drop the bags when it comes to Tate Kenny, when it comes to Tyran Stokes, but Kentucky seems to be willing to foot the bill. Well, it seemed close to becoming a done deal. We had reports out there that he may commit even this last weekend. This weekend came and went with nothing. No information, no confirmation, except for one little tidbit. And the latest conversation seems to be that there's potential out there that maybe another Adidas school is willing to drop that bag. And they are willing to drop bags. We absolutely know that Kansas is willing to drop a bag. And it appears that well, not just appears, it's evident. He said it. The man said it himself. Tate Kenny, when he committed to Kansas, he said that he was going to try to get Tyran Stokes to come with him to Kansas. So the latest development seems to be right now, maybe Kansas is moving in on your territory. Is Mark Pope going to end up whiffing? Will Mark Pope be able to close this deal? I don't know at this point. We're waiting to see. But right now, one thing big man, the big dog, I guess, in the college basketball landscape now that all the guys are retiring, Rick Pitino's never been a really top tier recruiting guy. He's over at St. John's. Cal living in exile in Arkansas. At this point, there's 5 schools, but there's 2. It's Kentucky. It's Kansas. Are the Jayhawks about to swoop in and steal another player away from what seemed to be a guaranteed lock in the Bluegrass State? I don't know. We'll see what happens as this continues to develop. We'll give you the latest updates here on ESPN Louisville Plus. If you haven't already, do me a solid favor. Smash the freaking like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell. Kind of stay notified for all of our latest updates, news, everything we have. Let me know also down in the comment section your opinion. Do you want Stokes? Are you tired of the drama? Louisville fans, do you think there's still an opportunity? There's still a chance out there? Let me know in the comment section below. Like I said, smash like. Hit subscribe. You can follow me at Justin Soforo on Twitter. And of course, you can follow ESPN 680, 1057 ESPN Louisville, and of course, 93.9 The Ville, all of the other different social media out there. We have got you covered there. All right, guys, we'll see you all next time. Cards, Cats, Bourbon, and Bluegrass. See ya.